When one hears the word food, a rush of emotions and body senses immediately come to mind. The sight of tomatoes and cheese melted on freshly baked pizza, or delicious, sweet, juicy fruits plastered on a plate, or even seeing colorful sushi bring thoughts of great joy and cravings. Living in America gives Americans the privilege to choose to eat whatever kinds of foods they could possibly imagine. However, Americans have become increasingly infatuated with the certain types of food they consume daily and the effects it has on their health. More Americans are making conscious decisions to eat healthier in hopes of maintaining healthy body weights and life longevity. While many Americans agree that eating healthy is an objective, there are countless Americans who would love to make this health choice, but simply do not have the means to do so. So this question is raised. What is the health state of our nation, and what can we do to improve it?
America is becoming a nation that consumes far too much fast food. However, whether you consume large amounts of fast food or buy from your local grocery store, a lot of people have no clue where their food actually comes from. When one finds out the origins of their food and the facts behind America's food production, they will want to make healthier food choices. Many Americans have already made this decision. What is really in our food, and why are so many Americans deciding to eat healthy?
The way we eat has changed more in the last 50 years than in the previous 10,000. The modern supermarket has on average 47,000 products.
The industry doesn't want you to know the truth about what you're eating, because if you knew, you might not want to eat it.
We've never had food companies this powerful in our history.
Everything we've done in modern agriculture is to grow it faster, fatter, bigger, cheaper.
If you could grow a chicken in 49 days, why would you want one you got to grow in 3 months?
When you go through the supermarket, there is an illusion of diversity. So much of our industrial food turns out to be rearrangements of corn.
Sometimes you look at a vegetable and say, okay, well, we can get 2 hamburgers for the same price.
They have managed to make it against the law to criticize their products.
There is an effort to make it illegal to publish a photo of any industrial food operation.
I find it incredible that the FDA wants to allow the sale of meat from cloned animals without any labeling.
Peanut butter contaminated with salmonella.
E. coli has been found in spinach, apple juice.
Smells like money to me.
The average consumer does not feel very powerful. It's the exact opposite. When we run an item past the supermarket scanner, we're voting for local or not, organic or not.
Look at the tobacco industry. The battle against tobacco is a perfect model of how an industry's irresponsible behavior can be changed.
Imagine what it would be if, as a national policy, the idea would be to have such nutritionally dense food that people actually felt better, had more energy, and weren't sick as much. You know, now see, that's a noble goal.
People have got to start demanding good, wholesome food of us, and we'll deliver, I promise you.
Your marks. Get set.
What?
Get those up.
So I'm like, sit-ups? I haven't did a sit-up since '87, so I got stuck on my first one.
Oh, no.
I get to my 10th sit-up, and I start doing my jumping jacks as fast as I could. And Amber looks like she's going faster.
Oh.
Amber, you okay? What happened? And all of a sudden, I hear Amber's crying, and it's like I just missed what happened. I was like, uh-oh, your daughter is hurt. Stay calm.
It is apparent that the health state of our nation is not where it should be. Everyone is not as bad as this family, but many of us have health that is not in the best condition. Although it is somewhat the government's fault for not making us more aware of where our food comes from, it is up to us to make the decision to change our lives into a healthy one. But what if you couldn't afford the expenses that are required to live this certain lifestyle? After all, healthy foods are not so cheap.
I want a dollar meal, 5 rodeos.
5 rodeos?
Cheeseburger.
Okay.
2 chicken sandwich.
Anything else?
2 small drinks. And give me a large Dr. Pepper.
11:48.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We didn't even think about a healthy eating because we used to think everything was healthy.
Thank you. You too. Thank you very much, Taylor.
Now that I know that the food is really unhealthy for us, I feel guilty giving it to my kids. But we don't have time to cook because we leave at 6. We don't get home until 9, 10 at night.
When you have only $1 to spend and you have 2 kids to feed, either you go to the market and try to find something that's cheap, or just go straight through a drive-through and get 2 small hamburgers for them and, okay, here, eat them. This is what's going to fill her up, not that one single item at the market.
Look at the broccoli. It's too expensive, man.
What did you want to eat then? First, check to see how many are there for a pound.
Okay.
Not we're done, eh?
Why not?
You'd only get like 2 or 3. No, come on.
You can find candy that's cheaper. You can find chips that are cheaper. The sodas are really cheap. Sometimes you look at a vegetable and say, okay, well, we can get 2 hamburgers over here for the same amount of price.
Why is it that you can buy a double cheeseburger at McDonald's for 99 cents and you can't even get a head of broccoli for 99 cents?
Hello, good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm great. I just want to ask you a couple of questions. Can you tell us your name and your profession?
My name is Jana Kickpleiter, and I am an associate professor here at Georgia State in the Division of Nutrition, and I'm also a registered and licensed dietitian in the state of Georgia.
Oh wow, great, thank you. And I have been researching socioeconomic class and eating habits, and through my research I have found that many Americans want to make healthier food choices and make it a lifelong goal to eat healthy. However, included in these people are ones who are underprivileged or not wealthy enough to afford this lifestyle. Would you agree with this statement?
I certainly think that it's much more challenging for certain segments of our population to eat healthy because of the access to healthy foods issue, as well as obviously whether or not it would be affordable. But I do think it's possible, given certain conditions, that everyone, regardless of socioeconomic status, would be able to eat healthy foods.
Okay. Can you give us your point of view of the health state of our nation?
Unfortunately, I think I would have to rate it very poorly at this point in time, primarily due to our high incidences of obesity, as well as diabetes and other chronic diseases like hypertension and heart disease. So we have a lot of progress to make in those areas.
That's very interesting. I agree with that. Thank you. Do you agree with writers Michael Pollan and Eric Schlosser that our nation is becoming one that consumes far too much fast food, and if they knew what was really in our food, they would make healthier food choices?
I definitely agree that Americans overall consume too much fast food for a variety of reasons, including convenience and cost and taste. So they do a very good job of marketing those foods along those different dimensions. So I do agree that we overconsume fast foods, but it will be interesting because of the new healthcare reform legislation that will be taking place soon that requires all restaurants that have 20 or more outlets to actually post the calorie and nutrient content of their foods. It will be very interesting to see if that actually makes a difference in people's ability to choose healthier choices, particularly in fast food establishments. So I think it will be great that that information will be readily available to people that do want to use it in trying to make healthier choices at fast food locations, because there are some good choices to be made. It's just knowing more about what those choices are.
Okay, thank you. Okay. And last question, do you have any suggestions on what Americans can do, whether low class, middle class, or wealthy, to make better health choices?
I certainly do. I think there's a lot of small changes that anybody can make regardless of their race or socioeconomic status or living conditions. It's just, I think, a matter of making the decision to make those small changes and going about doing that. For example, we know that in this country, most people need to eat more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, and we need to eat less sugar, fat, and sodium. And there are numerous ways that we can try to plan ahead. So, for example, shopping with a grocery list can be a way to not only eat healthier, choose healthier foods, but also to save money at the supermarket. Planning ahead also would include trying to plan menus and cook more meals at home versus eating out, particularly in fast food restaurants. A great way to save money and also eat healthier would be to decrease portion sizes. Most people eat way more than they realize that they're eating. So even eating out in restaurants, sharing an entree with a friend or taking home a doggy bag and eating half of it there and having another meal on another day is a great way, again, to save money and cut down on portion sizes. So making small changes but significant changes is, in my opinion, the best way to get everybody started on a better track towards good nutrition and better health status.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Leiter. That was very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.